This ball watch is the second series of watches inspired by Sir Ernest Shackleton, as his leadership, courage, and optimism continue to captivate explorers around the world. The 41mm engineered to Endurance 1917 GMT features balls manufactured GMT caliber and costs in the neighborhood of $3,100. I've never featured a ball watch on the channel, but I have to say that the product offering is very attractive and definitely feels well built. I also love that they include a model train along with some killer packaging. By the way, this watch is limited to 1,000 pieces and it's offered in 2 other dial colors. This watch was lent into the channel by my friend Brian from GQ Jewelers. His store is located in San Diego, California, and he's a watch guy through and through. So do me a favor, go support his business, a link in the description. Let's get into the specs of this watch. Just like Rolex watches, the entire case and bracelet are constructed of 904L stainless steel. The whole watch with the incised bracelet weigh in at 180 grams. The case measures in at 41mm, is 13.5mm thick, and 47.6mm from lug to lug. In between the lugs is 20mm, and the watch is water resistant to 100 meters. Protecting the dial, we find a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. The entire watch is crafted beautifully, and its design doesn't immediately jump out at me as an homage to anything else. I typically never wear gloves to review watches, but due to this watch being 90% polished, it's a smudge magnet. I'm really not a fan of that oversized polished bezel. It takes away from the refined look this watch could have achieved. At the 3 o'clock, we find a signed screw-down crown that's easy to operate. I appreciate the lack of crown guards, as I don't think they're necessary in everyday watches, maybe dive watches of course. The bracelet is also almost entirely polished, and that does remind me a bit of a Patek Nautilus. It uses screws to size it, but opening the butterfly clasp, it's a little hard and the edges feel sharp. But thanks to the 20mm lug width, finding aftermarket straps should be relatively easy. Overall, the bracelet feels well constructed, just not really pleasing to the eye. The dial is called ice blue and it's finished great. Under a macro, you can see the textures and the level of finishing. I'm a fan of the ball logo and love the counterweight on the seconds hand to kind of tie in the whole design. The polished hands play well with the light, and the pop of color on that GMT hand make the dial more playful. Just like a Rolex, we find a cyclops on the date window, and I personally don't mind that look. One little detail that I wish was more legible is that internal 24-hour inner bezel. It's hard for something to be functional when it's so small. I personally go for a different color dial, as this one doesn't speak to me, but nonetheless, it's beautiful in design, simplistic, and functional. One thing I was excited about was the Lume. You see, Ball uses 39 micro gas tubes on the hour, minute, second, and GMT hands for night reading capabilities. However, I was a bit disappointed on how dim the brightness was. I think it's cool that the luminescent material actually glows 24/7, but I still prefer traditional Lume. Ball does offer the color of these tubes all in the same color or in a rainbow colorway like this example. On the case back, we find an engraved train along with some information about the watch. This goes to show the attention to detail that Ball puts into their watches. The heart of this watch is an officially certified chronometer automatic ball manufactured GMT caliber, the RRM7337-C. This GMT movement has a quick set functionality that lets you easily change the local 12-hour hand by using the crown. The GMT hand is completely unaffected while the seconds hand continues to move, giving you uninterrupted precision. As the 12-hour hand jumps in 1-hour increments, the date wheel moves in perfect synchronization and always indicates the correct date of your local time zone. The movement beats at 28,800 bph, 4 Hz, has a power reserve of 42 hours, and has 25 joules. The movement is also anti-magnetic up to 1000 Gauss. These specs sound great to me, and I personally have never had any negative experience or have heard anything negative about their calibers. On my 6 and 7/8 inch wrist, the watch, well, it feels a little heavy, but it wears good. I would have liked to see what this watch looks like on a leather or a nice rubber strap, but of course, this is not my watch, as this bracelet looks a little blingy for me, and like I said, it reminds me a little too much of a Nautilus. Nonetheless, it's constructed well, just not my cup of tea. Look, the watch is well constructed, but I had a little hard time connecting with it. In fact, that's the reason I've never reviewed a ball watch on the channel. They don't really speak to me, but I have faith that one day they will come out with a model that calls my name. I would recommend this ball watch to a person that doesn't really like hype watches and wants value for their money and really wants to stand out, as this watch really delivers on an overall package. Let me know what you think about this model and the ball watch company as a whole. I do have the opportunity to review other models, and I'll be curious to know if you guys would be interested in that. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Be safe out there and stay humble.